Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, where we are looking out over the Inverclyde area. Yeah, it's Inverclyde. We've started serving it in the last few episodes, and I wanted to do like a little 3-part micro series to sort of get some proper service to these guys, because I've been excited to expand out of Glasgow, and now I have. Isn't it fun? So, looking at the Inverclyde and Renfrewshire network as it is, we have two mainline routes. We have the principal 401, which, come on, if it will select, there we go, runs from Paisley out through Linwood, Brookfield, Bridge of Weir, Kilbarchan, and then into Greenock via Port Glasgow, very direct. And then we have the 411, which runs from Govan out this way along the 108 and then the 11 through to Renfrew, then along the bottom of Erskine, the top of Bishopton, with the awkward dual carriageway stop in Langbank, and then into Port Glasgow where it terminates. And then we have three routes that I've considered to be local. That is the 451 from Paisley to Kilbarchan, because it's local because it does all of this nonsense, and then just terminates there. And we have the 452 from Erskine to Bridge of Weir via sort of everywhere, and the 481 from Renfrew to sort of everywhere in Erskine, which I am considering part of the Renfrewshire network, even though it's being run out of Clydebank. Again, Erskine Metro livery pending. And more Erskine routes also pending. The low 480s will be all Erskine based. So, that leaves us with, what are we doing today? And well, we got started with the mainline network with the 401 and the 411. Or, some mainline routes. Then we did a couple of Renfrewshire routes. That leaves us with Inverclyde to get our two big new areas covered. And so that means we're focusing on this pretty decently sized urban-suburban area. So let me get my mainline colour, because we're going to start with a mainline route. And it's going to also start in Paisley. But it's not going to run to Greenock, it's going to run to Port Glasgow. Via a different way to the 401. But it'll be the 402. So, that new route, own bus route. Come on, game. Own bus route. There's some decent looking like contract routes down there, but that is not how we work over here. This is going to be the 402 Paisley to Port Glasgow. Paisley to Port Glasgow. So we're going to head down here. And we are going to start from the other side of Paisley Piazza. So this is going to say Paisley \n size 75 small caps Piazza Nuggle Street, and then we want to undo our rich text, and we're going to head out of Paisley the other way. We're going to go this way around. So Paisley Abbey, why not? And Blend. And Canal Station, I like that. And post me if you don't mind. And there is the 402 between Paisley and Port Glasgow, although I have gone the wrong way out of Johnstone. I meant to go this way, and I'm going to fix that. So the stop that we need to diverge from in Johnstone is at the moment just called Iceland. There we go. That link will be made, but not by a mainline route. I need to delete until Weaver's Cottage. Cool. So yes, you can fix your routes when you put them in. It's just a bit annoying because you have to delete each stop one by one, and then you have to make sure that it's not selected the next stop along before you start putting stops in again. Off camera, I had to deal with that with the 311. I've made some changes to the 311. Which is, you know, that was good. The 311 now works a lot better as a route. But yeah. So, from Iceland, and it's, yeah. Oh, it's decided it wants to go down the motorway. No, 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 no. We do not want motorways. We want to go down this way, where the N1 goes. Maybe this is a more appropriate 401 than the other one, but eh. So yeah, that's there. That's sort of the top side of Johnstone now linked into the daytime network. Funny how this place got a night bus before it got a normal daytime bus. But I think that also happened in East Kilbride with the N21, which is still broken. I will fix the N21 eventually. Seeing as I know how to make them work, like how to make night buses work properly now, but yeah. Oh, and the game has decided that I need to be over there. I don't. I need to be over here. I wonder if this used to be an old railway. And then we'll have a stop there. And then I'll put a waypoint here. And then coming back the other way, I need to find Weaver's Cottage, which is there. So I need to go to the parish church, and then I need to delete everything out until the stop called Iceland, which is that one in Johnstone Town Centre. Looks like there aren't as many stops going that way as there was coming out. That's interesting. And I've also done this route. I need to do the timetable with this route backwards because I've built the route properly. This was meant to be built Port Glasgow to Paisley, but I'm not going to redo the entire route. So, we have a waypoint there, because we know that we need one. And yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, that's very bad. You need to make sure that it selects the right stop to start from, because otherwise you end up going from here all the way into Johnstone and all the way back out just to hit this waypoint, which is not what you want. Then I want to stop there, and then I want to stop like here. Perfect. That's the southern side of Kilbarchan served. And then I need to take it over the top side of Johnstone, which is that one, and then a couple more that are off camera, because I know how to play the game. I knew it was two more. That's beautiful. And there is the 402. From Paisley, through Elderslie, Johnstone, Kilbarchan, Bridge of Weir, Quarries Village and Kilmacombe to Port Glasgow. And as you can see, it takes a different route in to Port Glasgow than the 401, and a very different route between Paisley and Kilmacombe. although they both meet in Bridge of Weir. But that's very nice. That's probably going to be half hourly. I like the idea of that one being half hourly and the 401 being however frequent that is. I think every 15. Something like that. So let's see what the game thinks about a half hourly 402. The game thinks that a half hourly 402 will be very busy, but it's also an environment day, so I don't fully trust it. But I'm now going to make this timetable backwards, because I want it to start from Port Glasgow. So, where is Port Glasgow on here? There it is. So, let's build the timetable backwards in a happy little jump cut. And the timetable for the 402 is now done. So, Monday, Saturday, daytime, it runs every half hour from 5:30 till 7:30. And in the evening, it runs, and then outbound it runs from 5:30 till 7:30. The evening service picks up at 8, roughly, in each direction, and runs inbound until about 10, and outbound until about 11, to allow every bus that comes towards Paisley to go back to Port Glasgow, which is much nearer the depot, which is in Port Glasgow. This is going to get the OC type. Very nice. And it needs how many buses? Let's have a look. 535 does the 656, gets back in at 8 to do the 805. So for this route we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say we need 8. And that will run out of PG later. So we need 8, but we're actually short a few vehicles at PG, so we need 10 right now. I did not mean to hit new route at this stage. Although I did some off-camera work, and first of all, big note, the 333 is gone. I decided I didn't want to keep it. The 333 is now gone. I think it'll run today, but yeah, the 333 is not a thing anymore. It just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, so 333 is eliminated. It is the weakest link. Goodbye. And I've made some changes to the 311, Hamilton to Strathaven, which I will cover after the next route, which will be the 415 or the 412 or something like that. Or the 405, maybe. No, not 405. I'm going to keep 40 to, like, absolutely very mainline services. So this will be the 415. And it'll run from... where? Where will it run from? I didn't get that far. Actually, what if it ran from Port Glasgow? It could go from here, in Port Glasgow, into Port Glasgow a very different way. Or, like, into Port Glasgow this way. Then come out, serve this area. Back onto the main road, just in time to get into Greenock bus station. Then through Greenock town centre, out to Gourock, where it will do another local thing. So this is like the start of the Inverclyde local network, if you will, the 415. Or the 412. Let's keep this numbering very tight. 412. 412. Port Glasgow to Gourock. Very nice. So yeah, we're going to start from... I like this sort of thing, because there's a school there, there's a pedestrianised little area by the looks of things. So this is going to be... is this road called Slaymuir Avenue, by any chance? I have OpenStreetMap on my laptop, so while the game is having a think, I can have my own thinks, which are different. Did it? What does this area like to call itself? Marlock Avenue. Or this is the Bardrainney estate. So I'm going to say that this is actually called Port Glasgow \n, size equals 75% with small caps, Bardrainney. And remember to undo your rich text changes. And I'm now going to decide where this actually goes. I think I'm going to send it this way. No, I wasn't. I was going to send it the way the 401 goes. Yes, I was. So, let's go where the 401 goes. Which is this way. Into Port Glasgow bus station. Which I'm going to stop on this rung of. There we go. And then post me, if you don't mind. And there is the 412 from Port Glasgow to Gourock. So I was going to have it do something a little bit local, like a little, like, you know, circular on the end in Gourock, but this makes no sense. I assume it's very hilly and very beautiful, but, you know, very hilly. So that's not how that's going to work. We're just going to terminate in Gourock like that, just in the town centre. Little loop. Because Gourock's like got a two-way, or like a dual road, one-way type. You know, basically it's a massive roundabout. But like, it's not round. So we terminate in Gourock town centre, and local services can be done at a different time. But this is the 412. So just like with the 402, the 412 is going to run every 30 minutes all day. Well, at least until evening. Until about 7 PM, it's going to run every 15 minutes. And in terms of timing, I'm going to have it such that it passes through Greenock town centre at 6 AM. So that seems reasonable. So, timetable time, which also means happy little jump cut time. And the timetable for the 412 is now done. And as you can see, Sunday has been split into daytime and evening, because during the day it runs just as frequently as it does during the week, but with the cut-off at 5 PM rather than 7 PM for the switch to hourly service for the evening, which runs through until 9 PM, or 9:45 in the case of the eastbound journeys. which is, again, to ensure that every bus gets back to Port Glasgow near the bus garage. And that will prefer the OC type, which is the vehicle group that we're using for the Inverclyde branded buses as opposed to the Renfrewshire ones. And that will run out of PG later. So we need 10 already. Let's see how many this route needs. Come on, game. You can do it. Show timetable. So 5:30 from Port Glasgow. Does the 6:15 off Gourock, gets back at 6:59 to do the 7 o'clock. So this route needs 4, so let's say we need 6. So I need 16 OmniCities. So let's head over to Port Glasgow, and this will be the same batch. This batch is going to be huge. 36 plus 16, that would give us 52? Yes. You know, I think 52 is a good size for this batch. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So marketplace. Let's buy a new solo bus. And get a CN94UB OmniCity without any of that nonsense. And we want 10. And we want them in not the East Kent Modern scheme. We want them in the Inverclyde scheme from 2002. Isn't that lovely? So there's 10. And we need another 6. In Inverclyde, not Renfrewshire. Although we actually do need another 2 in Renfrewshire. So this batch is actually going to be 56. Which is an even nicer number. And these need to be in the 411 route group. Because they're Renfrewshire branded. And that should be Port Glasgow all set. So, yeah, Port Glasgow, very nice, doing well. This one is going to be this one's going to say Inverclyde and PG, there you go. Fleet number is OC37 and the license plate is SG02ODP. And I'll get the rest of these done in a happy little jump cut. And here are our final OmniCities of this batch, SG02OEG and SG02OEH, which are the Renfrewshire top-ups. And we have a whole bunch of Inverclyde ones. Isn't that nice? So now, it's time to launch the 402 and 412. So the 402 is Paisley to Port Glasgow via basically everywhere the 401 doesn't serve, as you can see. We will activate that now. And the 412 is our first route into Gourock that serves, you know, a lot actually. There's a lot on this route. This one is going to be quite busy. So let's activate that as well. And we now have enough buses at PG to run the full day service with an additional, I don't know how many vehicles that was that 18? Yes it was. We have 54 vehicles at PG now and they are all Scania OmniCities. Isn't this beautiful? The absolute cutting edge in 2002. Like even the Citaro was a few years old by this point. So it's very nice to have these here. There will of course be a lot more happening in Inverclyde, as the game has a moment. I really do choose the best times to come back to the commentary, don't I? This is fun. So, yeah. So after the game's had a moment, in fact, I'll do it while the game is having a moment. I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes in the record. So I think it might be a good time, when the game decides it wants to respond again. There we go. That was well timed. To plumb in, but not launch, the next route in Orange Land. And that route is going to be the 33, which is going to run from Govan bus station out to Swinton, but not via central Glasgow. It's going to mostly duplicate the 131 now that I think about it, but it's also not. It's going to do something different at this end of the route that will, you know, make it distinct from the 131. At least in theory. So let's get our Glasgow mainline colour, own bus route, wait for the game to work out what it's doing. This is the best part of City Bus Manager, the waiting. You know, just like you wait for buses, you wait for bus game. There we go. 81st route of the series, isn't that nice? Route 81, well this is actually the 33, Govan to Swinton. There we go. So it's going to start from Govan, and it's going to come down here, stopping at there, and then it's going to come down here and join the 11. Isn't that nice? And then post me if you don't mind. And there is the 33 from Govan bus station down along the southern side of, I guess that is kind of central Glasgow, but it's south of the Clyde, so yeah. You know, it's central Glasgow in the same way that Elephant and Castle's central London. It's like kind of, but not really, because it's like separated by the river. Anyway, up through here, across, down, and then up into Swinton, where it goes the other way around the loop. Now, I got really confused in Bridgeton, and I forgot lefts and rights. So I need to redo a whole bunch of this route and put stops on the correct side of the road, because I thought the game had messed up. Which is why none of the stops from Bridgeton out east are on the right side of the road. So If you will excuse me, I need to do that, and then I'll set the timetable up and I'll bring you back when the timetable's done. And the timetable for the 33 is now done. Running between Govan and Swinton every 15 minutes during the day and every 12 minutes during rush hour. I've not made an evening timetable yet, although I will, seeing as this is quite frequent. From 7 PM it's going to go up down to every 20 minutes, just one notch down, not going to be, anything too big. It steps back, or it should step back, at Swinton Easterhouse Road, and going the other way, and on Sunday it won't step back, and it runs every 20 minutes with slightly reduced operating hours. That's the plan. For now it's going to go from PO, but yeah. But 33 is now done. Where is it? There it is. 33, Govan to Swinton. So it starts over here in Govan, comes down this way to meet up with the 11 at Ibrox, follows the 11 until the 11 goes up the bridge, and we follow the 131 across the river to Bridgeton. Then the 131 does magical things in here involving Dalmarnock, and then goes up to the Forge. We, however, continue down London Road all the way through to, I can't remember what this area is called, Mount Vernon. Very nice. Then we head up through this side of Ballieston, along the Edinburgh Road, and we do the same circuit that the 11 does, but in the other direction. So the 11 goes that way, and then it uses this side of Edinburgh Road, we use this side of Edinburgh Road, and we go around this way. And then, of course, we head back. And hopefully that will be quite a nice little earner. But that's the 33. Again, more detailed, better thought out timetable pending. I just wanted to get that route in because it was an idea that I had and I quite liked it. Meanwhile, let's run the game and wait on our first new services out of the PG garage in Inverclyde. And now that we're running the game, the lag has set in because it is coming up to start of service, so all the buses are getting situated. And, well, I did a count before I started recording, and we had 964 buses in this save. With the 18 new buses at PG, that will have gone up to 982 buses. We are about to cross through 1,000 buses in this save, which is quite something. Considering how much more we have to cover in Orangeland, and the fact that I'm expanding beyond Orangeland fairly rapidly. Although next week we'll be back in Glasgow to do some more local work, more main lines, because there's still a lot of mainline expansion that I've not done yet that I really want to. I think next on my hit list will probably be the 8. Or not the 8, because the 8's already a thing. But the 18, which will be an out and back service from central Glasgow to Barhead. And then the N8 will go to Neilston. Or the daytime 8 will go to Neilston and it will be 24-hour, like the daytime 7 is 24-hour. And then, oh yeah, so I still need to show you all the changes I made to the 311, although I don't think they will have been implemented yet. So maybe that's something for next week, because the timetable changes only take place on the next day. And it's nearly go time, so I'm going to put it up to 2 times speed, so that the game doesn't just come to a screeching grinding halt on me. And it's 5:45, it's time for the first 412 from Gourock. So this is nice. When we are deep in Inverclyde now, and the game's having a moment. That's nice. Very brief moment, but a moment nonetheless. Fort Matilda Station, and we're quite busy. I mean, it's an environment day. Of course we're going to be busy. But I think this bodes well. I think it bodes very well. Yes, in Greenock? Yeah, this is Greenock. We do this thing, we do that. Because I thought that would be interesting and different, and a nice way of routing through the town centre to hopefully not congest it too much. Because I do run quite a high level of service. So, you know, you've got to think about when you're running as many buses through places as I do, because I'm aware my frequencies are higher and my service hours are longer than most people, you've got to think about congestion and, like, not flooding places with buses. Anywho, we're coming through the backside of Port Glasgow, which is nice, and coming into Port Glasgow bus station, which is very nice, and we leave at 20 past. I didn't plan that. That's a nice time. 20 past. That's beautiful. And then we basically run along with a 401 for just a little bit. Oh, it is actually quite a lot of it. And then around and into the estate, where we are 1 minute late, which is unfortunate, because we only have 1 minute here. But it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's nice. So when we get back into Port Glasgow, I'm going to find a 402. And back in Port Glasgow, there's a 402 and it leaves at 6:56. So let's run the game through for the 6:56 from Port Glasgow. It's go time. It's go time on the 402. Now I can't fully remember where the 402 goes, because I've been going for quite a while. I've had quite a substantial amount of time lapses, well, 3 time lapses, and a very substantial jump cut, particularly with the 33, because I was dumb and I put stops on the wrong side of the road. And I genuinely thought it was a problem with the game. I had no idea that I got my left and my left and right mixed up. And the game's having a moment. Isn't that nice? My phone just buzzed. My phone is buzzing. Why is my phone buzzing? The game's having a moment, so will I. I can't tell when my phone's buzzing. So is it me, or are phones like worse at handling notifications now than they used to be? Anyway, we're now on the bit where the 402 is definitely just the 402, and we're doing quite well. Again, Environment Day. But still. We're 2 minutes late, that's unfortunate. But I believe the 402 has plenty of timing points on it. So hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, now coming into Kilbarchan, which is very nice. And we come out of Kilbarchan the same way that the 451 comes? I think this is the 451 that we're following now. Yes, this is the 451. Is the game having a moment? Yes, it is. Average. So yeah, I will get stops named. That's good. Why is that beltway an hour and a half late? Oh, I forgot about that. That's a thing that I need to get rid of. Love that. And now coming in through Bridge of Weir, where we're following a 452. Isn't that nice? I think we're serving Bridge of Weir quite well. I don't think Bridge of Weir needs much more than we're giving it, given that it's got 2 or 3 routes that go to Paisley, and it has a link to Erskine, and it has, you know, through the Paisley links, good connections to Inverclyde. So I think we're doing quite well. And this is coming in through the top of Johnstone, which we will be serving even better, because we evidently have to. Because we're rammed. In fact, we are now full. So that's always fun. Better service needed down this road. I saw that coming. So I'm not worrying too much. That beltway hasn't made up any time at all. It's still an hour and a half late. And it's just getting worse. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think there might be some delays at PO. That's not good. Although Polmody Garage is an absolute mess. However, because we have, we don't have any need for the marshals that were doing 333s, I can move those elsewhere and put them on other local routes that I come up with from the hole where my brain's meant to be. Oh yeah, I forgot we go a different way out of Paisley, like ever so slightly different. I put this route in myself and it's surprising me. But you know, it's doing well. That's a 401. It seems to be exclusively the teal routes that come down here. That's what I'm calling that colour, by the way. I'm calling it teal. Is the 333 actually running? If it's not running, I'll be impressed. No, the 333 is still running. It will be withdrawn from tomorrow in-game. But that also means that the 311 is as was. Is that going towards Strathaven? That is going towards Strathaven. Yep, and it's going the old way. That's fine, for now. The reason why I changed the 311, I'll stop following it. Hang on. I'll stop following it. I'll pause the game. So I changed the 311, so rather than going this way, it now comes this way, which is a little bit more direct. And the reason for that is, first of all, to get coverage in here before I put more local routes in. I also got rid of a few of the local stops that sort of serve nothing in here. Because it's just... Basically, when I put the 311 in, it only had 2 minutes of stand time at Strathaven and only 2 minutes of stand time at Hamilton. So I made the 311 more direct within Hamilton and then got rid of a few of the sort of nothing stops here. And now it's got, I think it's only got 1 minute in Strathaven now, but it's got significantly longer in Hamilton, where it can, you know, recover from delays, at least in theory. So, you know, hopefully that'll work. I believe it will. But yeah, that's the 311. The 211, we've not touched the 211 since we put it in, so let's give the 211 a spin, why don't we? And I do need to expand the map. When I expand it south, I'll be able to put in some very special routes that I'm going to create a very nice livery brand for, involving the Citaro. And we do have some spare Citaros at OA, because, you know, the bendy buses, we have just enough of those, but we had more Citaros freed up from that. And, like, we don't have enough for the C5, so the C5 is not happening. This is very laggy. So yeah, I'm going to use those in combination with a few new Citaros to run some limited stop services in the regional areas. There will be quite a lot around Renfrewshire, Ayrshire and Inverclyde, but one of the big ones that will use Citaros rather than like coach buses will run from Hamilton down and like all the way across way out to the coast, I think I have it terminating in Ardrossan, or hang on, let me check for certain. Where is it? Yeah, it terminates in Ardrossan. So it runs from Ardrossan, out through the top of Stevenston, through Kilwinning, down through Irvine, into Kilmarnock, and then it basically sits on the A71 all the way from Kilwinnock to Hamilton. So that, I think, is going to be the 711 or something? I can't remember. But my limited stop routes are mostly going to be numbered in the 700 series after the roads that they go down. So it might be the 771 now that I think about it. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Meanwhile, we have made expansion into Inverclyde. And I think that's a very good place to leave it, especially seeing as I've been going for over 2 hours now. So I will see you next week from National Busways West Scotland, now in Inverclyde. Bye-bye.